And here we are at the media unveil of Tata's next product for the market. This is, as you can see here, the Tigor. We know of the Tigor already quite well. We've seen it before at the Auto Expo. Sorry about the background sound, there's a bit of music going on here. And well, the Tigor is the notchback version of the Tiago hatchback that was launched last year. And well, you can see it from here. That's the boot there that you can see. It is not jutting out too far like a sedan normally would. It's just a small boot that juts out, which is why the notchback. Tata, of course, are calling it the style bag, and that's because, yeah, it's got quite a high style quotient. I gotta agree to that. And yeah, just a quick look at the Tigor here from the rear before we move to the front and get into the details of what's new here over the Tiago as well. So quickly, as you can see from the side, lots of similarities, but one thing that I'd like to point out straight away, you see that rear door, it's longer than before, it's bigger than before, because this Tigor is has a longer wheelbase as compared to the Tiago, and that's what should give it more room on the inside, right? Now in terms of changes, let's get to the front. What you can see here are the headlamps. I don't know if you can spot it there, but this has got a double barrel effect here now with projector lamps here. There's a new grille here with the hexagonal shape, very nicely done, has a slight 3D feel to it because the mesh actually holding the hexagonal pieces together is out back at the rear. So it's a familiar face, but it looks smarter, looks sharper. And when you come to the sides once again, you'll see that now you have 15-inch wheels. These are 175 by 60, yeah, 50-inch rims, whereas the Tiago uses 175 by 65 R14. So overall diameter remains the same. Ground clearance as before is quite healthy, as you can see there. And we've already spoken about the door at the back, which is longer, give you access to the rear seat, which gets more priority. You have a longer wheelbase, so you should get more room. We'll get to that later, but I want to focus on the rear first for the Tigor here. There you go. The hexagonal elements carry through here as well. You see, like, you've got the hexagonal pattern here as well. And in terms of the lighting elements, you'll find that this is broken up into two parts. This strip, the fused LED kind of design, runs through onto the boot, and there's a very nice cool design aspect about the Tigor here, which is design and, well, practicality. Just one second, I'm going to pop the boot open for that. Yeah, one second, that's our back. Can we pop the boot? One second. Alright, so yeah, so that's the boot. The opening is nice and wide, and one of the trick engineering pieces here are these hinges which sit at the side, and because of this design they don't eat into the boot space. There you can see, so your opening remains intact, and even if you manage to pack in luggage here, you'll find that it won't get obstructed by the hinges of the boot when it closes. So you get a lot of opening here, a good amount of boot space. We don't know the exact figures of the boot space as of now. We cannot comment or answer questions as of now either, because we can only state facts. That's the deal for now while we drive the Tigor. The interesting bit is here you can see the stop lamps. It's lit up, so this flows onto the boot here, but this is just a reflective section, and you can see how this chrome strip runs into the tail lamp as well over here. And up there, you can see it here, that's also a stop light. So if you step on the brake, it's a nice up high position. And one sec, we are going to get to see that as well. Being lit up. Thank you. And there you go. Nice. And that aside, because of the high boot design, one thing that is a handy feature to have on the Tigor over the Tiago is that rear camera, right? So that's the basics from the outside that we spoke about. Nice swoopy looking car this is. I think it looks quite smart, and from the sub 4 meter sedans, or now in this case notchback, I think it's definitely a very handsome looking car. I'm going to step into the back first. Well, just gonna comment on the obvious bits now, which we can see as differences. You can see this is a new seat, has a greater recline angle. That aside, you also get an armrest here on the Tigor with cup holders, larger headrests, and that aside, now on the door pads you also get fabric finish. Right there you go. At the rear, plastics, I think fairly familiar on that front. Right, so that's the rear. I can't get into how it feels and how it looks as of now. That we'll have to wait until we get into the review, which will be later on Sunday. At the front, you can see that the content level has gone up a bit. Apart from the reversing camera that we already spoke about, now you get automatic climate control. That's the sensor for that, the temperature sensor up there on the dash. And that aside, again, like we spoke, oh yeah, that's another nice handy feature that we'll all welcome, an additional charging point, so that well, the passengers in the rear can also plug in their phones and keep them here. That's fairly handy. And well, that's about it for now. We can't share too much about what's changed, what's offered, and what we think about it. We'll get some more details towards the evening, but yeah, this is it for now. The Tigor style back, as Tata is calling it, notch back. It would have been cooler, the lift back, but apparently a lift back is I'll talk about that one sec. That's something that, yeah, okay, a lift back is something like we've seen on the Octavia, where even the glass would lift up, so you would have a really massive opening for the boot. But to get that, it would have taken a lot of extra weight to get the strengthening required, because this whole section would have been open, and that would have not only been heavier, would have also been, I'm sure, more expensive. So this is the better, more economical and reasonable solution that Tata have used over here on the Tigor. Right, so just gonna show you the car once more all around. I'm sorry for not answering any questions today now, because we can't. These are the basics. We don't even have the exact specs of the engine, the gearbox and all of that. We've told you about the wheels, which are larger here, and there would be some changes to the engine and that sorts, but we'll only get confirmation of that this evening, what exactly the changes are. Of course, the highlights here, the larger wheels, the longer wheelbase by 50mm, 15-inch rims, and yeah, and as you can see, like the body style up to the B pillar would be similar to the Tiago. From there onwards, it's completely different, and of course the floor pan, the chassis would be different